My name is Mika Poutala and this is Speedskating Secrets.
Monday will be a technical development day on the ice and a little bit easy endurance, and then biking in the afternoon, and also it's a setup day for starts or top speed on Tuesday.
So enjoy and learn. Welcome. My guest today is a world champion silver medalist from last year. He's always happy and easygoing guy. Welcome to the show, Havard Lorentzen.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're the first Norwegian in the show, and this week we are racing in the Stavanger. How do you expect to compete in your kind of home track?
Well, it's always nice to compete at home, even though it's not my hometown. We're a lot there, and it feels like home. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's start the whole thing right away. And what was your dream as a kid?
Well, my dream was to, like every other kid, to be a world champion or Olympic champion one day. And last year I was close, and hopefully this year I can improve a little bit more and maybe step up on the top of the podium.
Did you ever thought that you want to be a professional skater? I know that you dreamed about being a world champion, but did you ever thought about professional skater career?
Well, when I was younger, I was always a little bit slower than Sverre. He was in my skating class, but we were still skating fast. But I skated faster every year, and when time went by, it was natural to try to be a good skater.
How did you end up being a speed skater?
Well, I started cycling when I was young, and there was one teammate there that combined cycling and skating at winter time. So me and my brother, we went along, and yeah, that's how I ended up speed skating.
So why did you decide continue skating when you were already skating?
Well, I combined the two sports for 4 or 5 years until I was 13. I was good at both sports, but the atmosphere and the group I had in my hometown skating was really good, so it was fun to go to every training, and that's how I ended up going every day for training, and yeah, it's still fun.
Nice. So when did you start to take skating more seriously?
Hard to say, but I started skating better when I was 16, 17, and when I was 18, I skated my first World Cups. And then I understood that this is something I can do for a living, and yeah, it's a dream come true.
So who has been the most influential coach in your career?
Well, the last season and a half I've been coached by Jeremy, who was one of the skaters I was looking up to when I was young, and he's been a big influence for sure. So
what have Jeremy teach you?
Well, my top speed has always been okay, but my acceleration and starts have been a little bit slow, and the last year and a half he has helped me improve that a lot, and the technique in skating is getting better and better, and he's done a lot of good stuff on the ice himself, so he has a lot of ideas, and he knows how to teach well.
Do you have some concrete tips that you could give the younger skaters how they could improve their acceleration?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Try to keep it as simple as possible, not do stuff that feels unnormal in a way. In the corners, just keep the lean, how it feels natural, don't twist too much and stuff. And but yeah, it's hard. It's very individual what skaters has to do, but not make it too complicated. That's the smartest thing, because coaches can sometimes confuse you a little bit when they're saying stuff.
So what was the actual things that Jeremy said to you that you had to do to get better at accelerating?
Well, I had to get lower in the start. That's one point. And also dig into the ice, be more aggressive in my skating, and that's gotten better and better the last year and a half. So it's getting faster.
So what else happened these last 1.5-2 years? Because you have improved so much. What have you done differently?
Well, I started 2 years ago. I had a bad injury on my leg, and I was out for 4 or 5 weeks with no training, just laying high with my leg. And after that, I thought that now is the time for me to start over again and start training up to be good for next season. I did some races that season, but it didn't feel very good. And then I also got more strict with my diet and sleeping. And a combination of all these and also the training has helped me improve a lot the last year and a half.
Can you give some specific things that you changed in your diet?
Well, I've been really focused on getting enough proteins the last year and a half. And also cutting back a little bit on the good stuff, candy and ice cream and stuff like that.
Are you trying to gain more muscle because you try to get, or you're really strict about getting enough proteins, or why do you do that?
Yeah, also getting a little bit bigger, get more muscles, but just mainly I feel that I recover better when I focus on that.
So what about the sleeping? You said that you have been trying to keep an eye on sleeping. What's the most important thing about sleeping for you?
Well, I try to get 8 hours of sleep every night, and I liked being awake for a long time. So I can stay up to 1 or 2 o'clock if I don't have to do anything the next day. But I've been more strict now and try to get to bed around 11 or 12. So I get my 8 hours of sleep.
So how did you do that? Do you have some kind of habits that you had to do to get to the bed earlier?
Yeah, turn off the phone a little bit earlier and read, get tired from that, and just be a little bit more strict on going to bed.
What kind of books are you reading?
I like biographies and I like musicians. So the last one I read now was Ozzy Osbourne. It's a little bit different lifestyle that we're living, but it's really fun to read.
So how did your program change when Jeremy started to coach you?
Well, he have a lot of focus on top speed and train very specific for racing. And twice a week we go hard on the ice, and that helped me. When I come to the races, it feels natural. It's not uncomfortable in any way.
Can you tell us how is your normal training week look like? Like how many times are you on ice? What else are you doing beside ice skating?
Yeah, the first session of every day except Thursdays, then we only have biking, and Sundays we have off. We go ice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays, Saturday. That's the first session of the day, and Tuesday and mostly Fridays, sometimes Saturdays, we do weights the second session, and the second sessions on the rest of the week is bike. Then it's we do easy rides and sometimes threshold cycling.
Do you have some sprint days and some interval days and tempo days? What's, for example, Monday?
Well, Monday will be a technical development day on the ice and a little bit easy endurance, and then biking in the afternoon. And also it's a setup day for starts or top speed on Tuesday. Wednesday will be a more endurance day on the ice, and then in the afternoon I usually go threshold biking. Thursday will be longer, easy bike ride. Friday, a little bit the same as Monday, where I technical development on the ice and getting ready for tempos on Saturday. And then it's weights second session on Saturdays.
So did something click in your head these like couple last years that made the big change? Of course, you've been training a little bit differently, done some new habits, but is there also some kind of mental like change that happened or no?
Well, I feel less afraid in a way in the corners after my my crash when I cut my leg than before. So I think that's many people will probably be a little bit afraid of getting that type of injury, but for me I felt it's helped almost, and I feel less afraid at high speed in the corners. It's just skate, or if I should crash, I know the consequences, but 99.9% of the times it's you get through the corners all right.
At what point in your career did you actually believe that you could win like world championship medal?
Well, the first time was last season that I was always in the middle of the result list the previous years, but last season I got close to the podium at the World Cups on the 500,000 and 15, but it was last year I saw that I can hopefully one day win a gold medal.
So did you get the confidence out of your good results before, or did you get confidence somewhere else?
Yeah, with results, and also in training when I see I skate fast, and usually I skate faster in races than training, so if I skate good at trainings, I get a good confidence for the races.
What has been your hardest moment in your career so far?
Well, it has to be the cut of my leg. It kept me out for 4 weeks, as I told you earlier, and it was boring to be home, laying on the couch with my leg raised and watch you guys race the World Cups that season. So that was hard, but I got through it, and it made me stronger.
So what happened after that 4 weeks that you couldn't do anything?
Well, I started easy training. I could barely walk on my foot for several weeks. So, but I got back on the ice and started training again, and it got better and better. But it took a lot of energy also to heal and to get back to the point to train normal.
How long did it take for you to mentally to believe that you can be back to the A group?
I think I crashed in October 2015, and it was probably not before my first test races in September in 2016 that I saw that my times were good enough for the A group.
So it was a really long time.
Yeah, it was a long time, and all through the summer I wasn't sure how fast I was going, if it was good enough. But when the test races went as fast as they did, I saw that my times were good enough for A group, and throughout the season also I got my first podium at the World Cup, and then it topped with the silver medal at the World Sprints. So it was a good and fun season.
What did you learn from that year that came after the injury, the recovery year?
I learned that a crash can be hard, but it will be alright after a while, unless you cut yourself in a way that you can't skate again. I was lucky that it didn't take any ligaments in my around my ankle or the Achilles. I was not far off, but I was lucky I didn't take any of those kind of stuff. And I also learned that I can, if something happens, it's a good way to just start over, start from the scratch and build up to be good for next season.
You seem like a really relaxed guy out there. Do you think that's one of your benefits?
Yeah, in a in a race you can always get stressed out. I'm pretty relaxed all the time, so I think that's good when you get in situations like the World Sprints where I was third before the last 1,000. Then I got a silver after the last 1,000, and I still kept calm and did a good race. And in competitions like that, it's important to deliver good results under pressure.
Do you feel pressure when you are racing?
Yeah, but not from other people. It's for myself.
So how do you handle that pressure?
Well, I tell myself that, of course, I can't do anything about the other guys that are racing. I can't make people skate slower. So I skate as fast as I can, and then we'll see what if anyone else are skating faster, or if it's good enough for a podium or first place.
It took you 4 years after juniors to win World Championship medal. Why do you think so many other junior medalists never win medals as a senior?
Well, it's always a big step going from juniors to seniors. It's a big, it's so many good skaters that are in the senior level. And for myself, I had some years with where I was a lot of sick. My sinuses were closed up and my head wouldn't hurt. So I had 2 or 3 seasons where I was a lot of sick, and I did an operation for my sinuses, and after that it's been fine. But why junior skaters never really get up to the world championships in senior level, it's hard to say, but some people, they probably reach their maximum level when they're young, and some keep developing and get better. But it's hard to say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Havard, for doing this interview. Where can people find you in social media?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I try to update my Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter I'm barely there. So, but yeah, they can find me on those 3.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a really successful year.
Thank you.
So one more thing before you go. Please share it with your friends and leave a review wherever you listen.